them in the eyes and say, Mom, Dad, I'm...
Happy moving day!
Hi.
Hi.
Hi guys, thank you so much for talking to us and for sharing out with us. I'm very excited, and I'm very excited to be sharing it with our audience. How are you?
Good. I'm very good.
We're doing good.
Let's tell our audience a little bit about Out. Out is part of the shorts that Pixar is putting out.
The Spark Shorts program was originally designed to, find new voices around the studio, both from, directors and from producers who otherwise might not normally get a chance to make a film or tell a story. And so it's kind of like independent filmmaking within a big motion picture studio. So, you have fewer resources and shorter timelines, but you kind of have a lot of freedom to make the films the way you want them.
And speaking of freedom, it seems that they're giving you guys the liberty to tackle things that maybe people wouldn't associate with Disney before and with Pixar. Like you have Flow, that it's like also the first story with a Filipino, and Autism, Pearl, that it's talking about like women at the workplace, and now Out, that it's like our first animated character that is gay in canon.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the nice things about the Spark Shorts program, and this goes back through Pixar. I mean, Pixar has always been a director-driven studio, so all our films come from those directors, the stories those directors want to tell. And so the Spark Shorts program allows, more voices to be in that pool of storytellers, which is really exciting, I think. And that's why you're seeing a really broad, diverse group of stories within the Spark Short program.
Honey?
Dad?
Now what are you getting into?
You wrote also the story for Out, right? Can you tell me how you created the project, and what was your idea when you presented it, and what was the response from your team?
I grew up watching Twilight Zone, and I just loved that anything had happened in those episodes. And so I kind of wanted to create a little gay Twilight Zone for my 7-year-old self, who didn't see himself in the world, who needed to see a bit like some validation in the world around him about who he was. Because when I was, back in the early 80s, late 70s, there was nothing, growing up in small town in Canada, there was nothing to tell me that being gay was okay. It was just something that was wrong. So I just buried it. I didn't come out till I was 27.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, yeah, and I think we just need to see ourselves in stories more and more.
And Max, as the producer, can you tell me what's your role creating the project?
I would say, Steve and I like to talk about my role as kind of like his second set of eyes and ears throughout the making of it. But I'm also responsible for surrounding Steve with the rest of the crew members, finding, our key leadership roles and staffing the show, and overseeing the budget and the timeline. And so when Steve first approached me to kind of partner with him in making it, I was, humbled and super excited because he had pitched me the story. And, like many of the audience members who've watched it, I was laughing and crying, all the emotions. I wanted to be a part of it. So.
Yeah, Max and I had worked together on films before, like WALL-E, I think was the first one we worked on, and then Incredibles 2 was the last one. So it was like it was a comfort level there already, and Max, while I'm busy focusing on the story, Max can go out and find the people we need to help us make this thing. But he was also there in the editing suite to help us figure out how to tell this story in the best possible way. So it was a creative partnership as well. Good work. He's a good work husband.
Oh, what's this? Don't you dare! Jim!
Speaking a little bit about the story, was it exciting or scary to be opening up your own experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I definitely found I had helped other people tell stories, and then suddenly you're telling yours, and it just it is really more personal. but it's also like I took comfort in like the more gay men I talked to and about their coming out stories, I started seeing the universal in it kind of thing. So in some respects, this isn't my story, it's all of our story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, speaking a little bit of that, in the Latino, I think that a lot of people in the Latino community are gonna feel related to the story because still today, unfortunately, we still have a lot of machismo and homophobia in our community. And this is a great opportunity to show our audience that things are changing. Do you have a message that how can we make things change?
I think it's just seeing ourselves in stories more and more, right? Like, I think there's even more stories we can put out there about who we are, so people will, they'll just embrace us more. Like they just need to see it. That it's just we're just part of humanity. And we're just looking for the same things that everybody else is. Family and love, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's. We're very lucky that we get to work in the industry that we do because I feel like film can be such a powerful tool to relate to the human experience. And, as you just mentioned, the human experience is extremely diverse. Everybody has their own unique walk through life. And so, the Spark Shorts program and, what we're trying to do at Pixar and with this film was, reflect the world that we live in, so.
And I love it because it even has some Latino representation in it. I mean,
yes.
And Manuel is the one who's out and proud and.
Right. But he's got a coming out story too, right? So I'm just curious what it is,
We all do.
I know, right? Somebody's going to have to write that one. It's not going to be me. Somebody's got to write that one.
We need the prequel, the Manuel prequel.
Yeah, Megs and Gigi would have to come back for that. For sure.
And Greg, and Steve, I'm confusing you with your character, you see?
I'm so touched. Thank you.
And I'm very excited because now when I go to Comic-Con, now I can cosplay.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
I can cosplay as Greg.
Wait, I get see. Oh my god. Hold on. Boom. Oh my god. Where did you get that?
I had it. I guess we all have one.
He's in Chicago. It gets a little colder than it does out here, so there's actually good use for that.
It is.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys talking to us. Thank you so much. The short is beautiful. The movie is beautiful. And I hope that this is just the beginning of more.
Yay. Thank you so much for having us.
Happy Pride Month, by the way. This is great.
Thank you so much.
Happy Pride.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.